But last night, Michael Beasley put up 32 points and got 12 rebounds against the Boston Celtics, who were the best team in the Eastern Conference. A lot of people are shocked about how crazy that stat line was, but over the last 10 years, people seem to have forgotten that Michael Beasley was supposed to have been a star in the NBA, and at times, even in his NBA career, has looked like he was going to be. So before this video starts, we are doing a daily December. The original goal was 25k, we hit that. Then the next goal was 30k, we have smashed that. And now we are trying to get as close to 35,000 subscribers as possible. So if you guys can subscribe, that'd be great. And a big thanks to everyone that subscribed so far this month. Sorry for constantly mentioning this. Once January the 1st hits, I won't mention daily December anymore. So anyway, now let's get on to the video. So Michael Beasley attended a total of 6 high schools, the last of which being Notre Dame Prep School in Massachusetts, where as a high school senior, he averaged 28 points and 16 rebounds per game. And he decided to play college basketball at Kansas State despite never being on the campus and saying that he didn't even know where Kansas was on a map. Michael Beasley had probably the best freshman year I have ever seen in my lifetime. He was the 3rd leading scorer in the nation, averaging 26.2 points per game, and also led the nation in rebounds with 12.4 rebounds. And this was a guy who was 6'9", extremely skilled, and could play at the small forward position. He also shot 38% from 3 and 53% from the field in that year in college. Before the 2008 NBA draft lottery, he was expected to be the number 1 pick until the Chicago Bulls got the number 1 pick with only a 1.7% chance of getting it, and they decided to take the hometown guy Derrick Rose over Michael Beasley. What a decision that turned out to be, as Rose became the youngest MVP ever. But while Beasley was probably the best player in that draft at the time on the court, off the court was a different story. Beasley was often in trouble off the court, which is why he ended up going to 6 different high schools. But in his senior year of high school and in his year in college in Kansas State, he managed to stay out of trouble. But that all changed as soon as he arrived in the NBA. Beasley was busted for an incident with Mario Chalmers and Darrell Arthur involving women and possible marijuana possession at the 2008 Rookie Transition Program. This is a seminar designed to teach young players how to stay out of trouble. And even there, he was getting in trouble. And even though no drugs were found, Beasley was fined $50,000 for his role in this incident, and it was a sign of things to come. But on the court, Beasley did quite well. In his rookie year, he averaged 13.9 points and 5.5 rebounds per game, in only 24.8 minutes per game, on a Miami Heat team that made the playoffs. But that off-season, he checked into a Houston rehab center just days after he posted a picture of himself on his Twitter page, which appeared to have marijuana in the background. In his second year, he started all 78 games for Miami Heat, averaging 14.8 points and 6.5 rebounds per game. However, at the end of that season, the Big Three formed in Miami, and he was traded to the Minnesota Timberwolves to clear cap space. In the 2010-2011 season, he had the best year of his career. He played a career-high 32.3 minutes per game and averaged nearly 20 points per game, which for a third-year player is not bad at all. He showed flashes of being the future NBA great that people thought he was going to be. But at the end of that season, everything changed. In June 2011, he was pulled over for speeding, and the policeman noticed that the car had a strong smell of marijuana. The officer allegedly found marijuana in a plastic bag under the front passenger seat. However, Beasley said it wasn't his. In August of that year, he was on a streetball tour with Kevin Durant and got into a fight with a fan, shoving a hand in his face. The next season, his form dipped significantly, only starting 7 of the Timberwolves games that year and only averaging just over 11 points per game. And even though he struggled that season, the Phoenix Suns decided to give him a 3-year, $18 million contract. He had by far the worst shooting year of his career that year, shooting only 40% from the field and averaging only 10.1 points per game. And in August 2013, he was arrested on suspicion of marijuana possession. A month after his arrest, he was waived by the Suns. In September 2014, he signed a non-guaranteed contract with the Grizzlies, but was waived in October. So after being waived by the Grizzlies, he played a year in China, a part of a year with the Miami Heat, part of a year with the Houston Rockets, and 56 games with the Milwaukee Bucks. And then this year was signed by the New York Knicks. So far this season, only 17 minutes per game, is averaging 11 points and shooting 52.5% from the field. And this season, Michael Beasley has already had a 30-point game in a loss against the Houston Rockets, and also scored 32 points playing less than 25 minutes against the Boston Celtics last night. But the thing is, this shouldn't be a surprise to anyone. Michael Beasley has shown flashes of being an NBA superstar, and he has since he came into the league. Michael Beasley is one of the most confusing cases of a player I've ever seen. I've never seen a player as inconsistent as Michael Beasley, and a lot of that is probably due to off-the-court issues. Michael Beasley should have been a star in the NBA. He had the skill set to be a star in the NBA, and unlike a lot of draft busts who come into the league and just straight up aren't good enough, Michael Beasley has shown time and time again that he's a good enough basketball player, he's a skilled enough basketball player to be an NBA star. He just hasn't seemed to have had the work ethic, the attitude, or the stability in his off-court life to be a solid NBA player. I personally believe that Michael Beasley is one of the most talented players in the league, and he's one of the most skilled and talented players of all time to never make an All-Star team. Right now, Beasley should be a top 10 player in the world, a multiple-time All-Star, and who knows, maybe even an MVP candidate. But off-the-court and attitude issues have led to people being even shocked that he can put up 30 points in an NBA game right now, when even now he's one of the most skilled players in the league. So anyway, what do you guys think about Michael Beasley? I'm a Miami Heat fan, so I watched him a lot early in his career. And even judging by his first 2 or 3 years in the league, it's a shock that he ever made an All-Star team. And it's a shock that he's been in and out of the league and has barely put together a full season on an NBA roster since then. So anyway, that's the video. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe.